Hey guys, thank you so much for hopping on the Sculpted Brilliance team call tonight. It is August the 20th. We have a guest speaker, Mannie Watkins, on the line, and she's going to talk about making a Beachbody comeback. Hey, can you go eat your banana somewhere else? Thank you. As you know, there's 11 days left in the month. You still have plenty of time to hit Success Club. It's Team Cup month. You have goals that you're working towards. You know, I'm still working towards my goals, but we're going to make it happen, and it's working, and, you know, all that jazz. I'm just going to kind of introduce Mannie a little bit more, and then let her kind of just take over from here. So Mannie's a 5-star diamond. She's been a coach for 5 years now, and she's lost 98 pounds with Beachbody products. She was premier in 2014 and elite in 2015, just like me. And she was a former social worker, and she's been in Success Club Legend for 48 months now, which is huge. I think mine's like 37. I don't know, like pretty close. So anyway, I'm going to let her take it over. She's going to talk about making a comeback in your Beachbody business, which I think that a lot of us could use some inspiration for right now. So I'm going to mute myself, Mannie. You just take over from here.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rachel. Well, first of all, I'm honored to be here with you guys. Rachel and I met through the Quarter Force test group that we were in together, and a lot of us in there formed bonds and got to know each other, got to work out live together. You know, so it was, you know, at leadership, it was just a lot of fun. So I'm really, really excited to be here with you guys. So like, let's just get right into it. Like Rachel said, my most important role is I'm a mom to a 7-year-old. I should have put that in there, but you know, his name is Carson, and we just have one kiddo, and we have a fur dog. We have a new boxer puppy. I'm married, been married for about 12 years. I became a coach 5 years ago by accident because I needed to lose a lot of weight. I was a social worker in mental health. I worked with developmentally disabled adults. I think it's important for you guys to kind of know my story because it's going to tie into what I'm sharing tonight. So, and I was a gym goer all my life. I did not believe in working out at home. Long story short, probably like a lot of us, we were invited to a challenge group, and I was like, I need to do something. So I said, okay, fine, I'll try this Shakeology. I'll buy a few packets and I'll try this workout. And at the time, I had a lot of health issues. I had an autoimmune disease, severe stomach issues like IBS. I was on injections for psoriatic arthritis. I just had a lot of issues dealing with postpartum depression. And the thing I think that I fell in love with, you know, with this whole community was that I started feeling better. Like my health started improving. But the other thing was that I was told, just start where you are. Just start where you stand. Just start right where you are. I was invited to the coaching opportunity when I was at my heaviest, and I thought there's no way because I have to be skinny to be a role model. You know, all my life, even when I was thin, I thought that, and I never felt quite good enough to, you know, even at a certain size. So I was like, definitely not good enough now. But I fell in love with the whole concept of someone saying you're inspiring because of your journey, not because of a six-pack or a size on a scale or the size of your pants. So that's kind of, those were the two things that really grabbed me, was the fact that I started noticing Shakeology was doing something to my body and stomach and health, and I started having energy, and literally, like, I believe in Shakeology because I saw what it did for me, you know, and I was able to get off of all these medications within a few months, you know, and I was like, okay, there's something in here. And then the second thing, of course, which is right on par with the first thing, is just being embraced and saying, you don't have to be perfect to inspire. And I was like, oh, I could do that. I could be a coach and do that. I am good at not being perfect. So that's how I fell into coaching. And I had no intention of doing anything full-time. I was a licensed social worker in the state of Michigan, and I had done it for 15 years. And that was what I planned on doing. But at the same time, I was very burned out in my social work career. I was a new mom. My son was 2. And I was like, you know, here's me on the side getting healthier and fitter and inspired and encouraged by this community, this fitness community. And then here's this other side of me that's like, you're not doing enough, do more, you know. I loved the population, I loved the clients I worked with, but I didn't like the red tape and the crap that, you know, I just felt like it was never, you could never do enough. And I felt like my family was getting the last of me, not the best of me. And I was tired of it. And I was like, I'm living an incongruent life. Here I am trying to get healthy here, yet I'm going to this 9-to-5 career that this is what I'm supposed to do. And I hate it. So I, like I said, I just kind of stumbled into this desire to like, I want more. I want my son. I want to be the best mom. I want to be joyful. And so I talked to my husband. I was like, you know, it'd be so cool if I could do this full time eventually. Okay. So within 2 years of being a coach, I did quit my career. I think it's important though to note, and because I'm a different kind of coach in this respect. I wasn't rolling. I wasn't balling and making all this money, okay, when I quit my career. I think it's super important to say that. I think a lot of times, and there's no right or wrong, I'm just telling you my story. Like, a lot of times people like they get to a certain income level and they're like, now I'm going to quit my job. For me, I needed to say, I am going to leave this career that feels very like I'm not speaking my truth because I keep going there and feeling burned out. And it's okay if I'm not making this amount of money with coaching, but I need to jump off this branch so I could prove that I can fly. So I was a different kind of, maybe there's other people with that story, but it's a little bit unique that I wasn't like, oh, now that you've replaced your income, you can quit. So I had to do it to prove to myself that I had enough self-respect that for my own mental health, because I was helping people in their mental health, but my mental health was suffering and my health was suffering. And it was a big decision and it was scary. And of course, my husband 100% supported me in it, but that's how it started. In 2014, quit my career. And that's where the building started of, you know, of coaching. Now, I want to say that if you're a coach on here and you've got a full-time job, I built my business. I little by little, while I was working full-time, working an hour a day at night, you know, after I would spend time with my husband and work out with him and spend time with our son. And that's how I did it. So it wasn't like all these hours I was putting in. It was like an hour while I was working full-time. And then after I quit, you know, I just kind of continued to work that hour and then added more. So, you know, that's kind of how it all started. Once I quit, you know, that's when I really got excited, started building a team. You know, people were inspired by my journey, by, you know, me losing the pounds and sharing this excitement. I had this excitement and this momentum and this like, just, I guess, like relentlessness to share why I loved coaching. And, you know, like Rachel said, you know, we did hit premiere. I didn't even know what the heck that was in 2014. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I got an email in premiere, whatever that means. You know, I was just doing what I was taught to do, you know, invite people, add people, you know, share your journey, you know, share your excitement, teach coaches who want it, you know, to grow, that kind of thing. So that happened in 2014. I started embracing Success Club, you know, probably a year into being a coach, and then started realizing, yeah, that's, you know, those are very measurable ways to move your business forward and raise your income and also give people results because you're giving them the total solution. So I started embracing that. So that made a difference. So just kind of started building a team little by little. I wasn't like this huge recruiter. In 2015, you know, I remember being on the Success Club trip. I forget where it was. We were like, I think it was a cruise, and we were in some session, and one of the, you know, corporate people were like, here, you know, here's how you can hit a lead. And it was not even on my radar. And I was like, oh, I wonder what my lead points are. And it was like 43, and it was April. And then I looked at one of my top coaches who was with me. I was like, we should totally go for this. And we went for it. And we hit it in 2015, both of us, like my top coach on my team and me, we hit it together. We were both 5-star and we hit it together. I'm sharing this because the other part is important. So this is just kind of let you know all the things that happened in 2015. It was awesome. It was exciting. You know, all these people are hitting Success Club on our team. Like I said, I've always hit Success Club 10 and or above, and I taught the same thing. And then in 2016, something happened. It's like we got back from Summit, and then it was like a new year of like, all right, we're going to do this again. Everybody ready to work. And something just felt off. The energy felt off in the team. Like people were tired. We preached Success Club because, let's face it, Success Club simply means the whole package, right? We know what it means, but I think some people were tired, and some people are like, I'm just tired of Success Club. Like, so it was a weird position that myself and my top coach were in, because we're like, okay, let's do this again. This is about us. It wasn't like about me or her, but we had to start doing a little bit of self-reflection and realizing like, okay, we said this is about us. We hit this goal. It's our team. But we never really asked the team, is this important to you? Did Success Club? We just went with it. It was like, I guess the best way to describe it is from 2014 to the beginning of 2016, it was just like do, and it wasn't like gathering a lot of feedback and asking a lot of feedback, like, hey, how do you feel about this? Because sometimes I didn't want to know the answer, to be honest. I was just like, just do what I do, because that's what works. And I'm not that person. I'm not a selfish person. I'm very giving. I care about people, but I kind of felt like I always like to share this. I think it's important because it's part of my self-growth. I got caught up in the recognition part of it. My love language is words of affirmation and gifts, but I also give the same kind of thing in return. But I got caught up in that. I was like, oh my gosh, if we could achieve this level again, it means we're amazing. If we don't, so I kind of made it very, not outwardly, but I think inside it had become that. And so in 2016, when we kind of felt the stagnation of the vibe of the team, my coach and I, Abby, were like, we need to just put on the brakes and figure out what the team wants. And that might mean that we have to forego our own goals right now. Because ultimately, if that means we get everybody on board again, not feeling burned out, then that's really what this team is about. So that's when the whole self-discovery thing started. And so we started asking questions like, hey, what's important to you? And what makes you feel connected or disconnected? Like, well, we just feel like it's about Success Club. Now, I want to preface this and continue to say Success Club is important, okay? I always feel like I have to say that because I don't want to make it seem like it's not. It is. But I think that sometimes people felt like that's the only measure of their success. And because of that, they felt like if they didn't hit it, or if they had hit it for a while, right? This is what I saw with some of my coaches. All of a sudden, there was this big gap between I hit it, I'm not hitting it, I must suck. So then they just disengaged. So our charge was to bridge that gap between, no, you don't suck. Like, you are adding value. There's other ways to succeed. If you want to make it that goal to continue to do that, yes, that's going to get you to your goals faster. Yes, you're going to make more income faster. Yes, you're going to give more people the ability to have amazing solutions to their fitness and health goals. Don't get me wrong. It's the same way you got results, right? Like, we always convey that. But it doesn't mean you're failing if you miss it 1 month. And it took a lot of strength to say that to a team when we were focused on hitting elite. And oh, good job, buddy. Sorry. My son just pulled out another tooth. Yay. Good job, buddy.
I pulled it out.
I'm so proud of you. So proud of you. Okay. I'm going to see it in a bit. Okay. Thank you so much for showing me. You're the best. Okay. Sorry, guys. So, it was a big growth moment for us. Anyway, so when that happened and we were like, you know what, guys, we just want to meet everybody where they're at. Start where you stand. We started going back to, like I shared my story, what attracted me to coaching is feeling accepted to start where I stood. And I was like, I want to give my coaches that same opportunity in the business. So in 2016, I just said, you know what? It's not going to be about freaking elite. Like, I just basically, and I'm a very big goal getter. And if anybody on here is like that, it's hard sometimes to put to the side your own specific goals for the sake of a greater purpose. But we decided to say, yes, let's do that. Let's go ahead and work with the team and focus on the things that brought us joy. Okay. So that's my point. Number one is, it's great to be in do mode, but if you lose sight of what brought you joy in this business, you're gonna hate it, even though you might actually love it. And that's what I was finding was happening with coaches. They were losing the joy because they just felt they had this like quota to meet. And I had to kind of look at myself and be like, okay, I know it's not my responsibility for them to succeed or not succeed, but what am I doing to foster an environment of like feeling like everybody can win? So we came up with this concept of like, a ladder system. And I could share this with Rachel. We kind of created steps before the team, the leadership ladder. We created 2 pre-steps. So if someone wasn't on the leadership ladder at the business starter mode, they could feel like they're stepping on different steps. And it was awesome. And we wanted to include everybody. And we're like, start where you are. If you're working on your fitness, you're still on a step, and then you can just keep building from there. But basically and even if you don't have, like, I don't know what the background is of everybody on here, but even if you have tons of people on your team, or if you don't have anybody on your team, this can still apply to you, because it goes back to, what does it mean to you to feel successful as a coach? And that's kind of what I try to bring the team back to, and myself too. What does it mean to succeed as a coach? Is it just Success Club? What does that even mean? What does it mean to Success Club? Like, at the end of the day, what it means to be successful as a coach is to give people results, right? Like, to give people success stories, to help people emerge from where they are to where they want to be. And the way we do that, I believe, is remembering what captured us in the first place with coaching. What brought us here? 5 years in, so here I am, 5 years in, I am going back to what brought me here. 2016, I decided that I needed to go back to what brought me here. So that's just a little bit of, but I want to get specific now. 2016, I made this decision. It was awesome. Team was coming around. Things were starting to happen. I had this great energy. I got invited to be part of the test group, the Quarter Force test group. I was like, yes. My parents went through some really bad financial struggles that really impacted, me stress-wise. They live far away, but it just really took a toll on me. And then I started feeling really like, I'm very strong. I have a lot of energy, and something was off. I was like, what is going on? And I thought it was just stress. I thought it was my autoimmune disease acting up. Anyway, I put it off for about a year, and my strength was getting worse and worse and worse. And so this May, finally, after I delayed it for a year, I decided to go to a functional medicine doctor, because people kept saying, just go check it out, see what's going on. And I was diagnosed with chronic Lyme disease that I've probably had for about 20 years. And and if you're not familiar with Lyme disease, it's a pretty serious thing. It just basically could impact your mind, your body, your joints, all types of things. And that was just another hurdle that kind of got thrown my way that I had to kind of deal with. So skipping from 2016 to now, just kind of giving you examples of things that have happened. So here we were on this high of like, we've got the team together. Everything was going great in 2016. Then my health started kind of being off, and I'm like, I'm so healthy. What is going on? And then to find this diagnosis out and try to get through this in a successful way and still coach, it was rough, really rough, because with treatment, you get worse before you get better, So like, it gives you brain, there's brain fog, there's like depression, there's confidence issues. Like, it affected my brain pretty badly. And I didn't know what it was. Like, towards 2016, I started just feeling completely off. Like, I lost confidence in the business. It was just so many things that were happening. And for me to just keep pushing to do the business, it was a struggle. And so I think it's important, whether you have a chronic illness or not, to let you know how I dealt with that. I just said, okay, I don't feel like getting up today and doing anything, but I'm going to do something. And that something was normally me working out. And so just kind of tying the pieces together for you guys, like, so this kind of started happening in 2016. And the thing I fell back on was the thing that I started with, was working out, was drinking my shake, was showing up for my own fitness and health. Some days I didn't have the energy to invite a lot of people, but I was like, but I'm going to do my best. But I'm always going to put on my cute workout top and I'm going to work out. Because that's what gave me that zen, that moment of like feeling like I can do something. And, you know, through this whole journey and even into 2017, you know, I feel like we're always growing and learning as coaches. What I've realized, and you know, I know this topic, tonight's call is about the comeback, but I want to call it more of the reinvention or the rebuilding of yourself as a coach. Because I think a comeback kind of implies that we failed somehow. But I think rebuilding and starting over, you know, and wiping the slate clean gives us a chance to write the story again or write a new chapter. And that's where I'm at now. I don't have a lot of coaches that are working. You know, I'm going to give you some specific things. I'm going to give you a book that I want you to buy. So I'm going to give you tangible too. But I think it's important to speak to the heart of what this business has done, because I think that's going to add more value than me just giving you like, do this. You know what to do daily. You know the power hour. I want to speak to behind the scenes of what really this means. So when I was diagnosed with Lyme, what did I fall back on? In the past, who knows what I would have done? There's been bad days, you know, and I probably would have just been depressed or who knows. But I had the tools that I was given through coaching that I preach and gave other people to show up, to do your best, to push play, to drink that dang shake. And I took it back to those simple things. And I started the process of rebuilding my confidence, which was undermined by this inflammation that I had going on in my brain and my body that I didn't even know was happening. And I went back to that basic foundation. I also became very transparent that this was going on. And I posted it on my page. And I shared it with my team. And I said, this is what's going on. I'm going to do my best, but I'm still going to show up. I'm going to do my best. It's not going to be 100% every day, but I'm going to still show up. So like I mentioned, there's a lot of coaches that have quit on me, challengers that have blocked me. I don't even know why, you know, weird things happen. I'm a Me Too, Megan Trainor kind of moment. I need to give you those moments like Me Too. If you're like that, you need to know that you're not the only one. I'm like that, so I'm going to give you what I need. That's happened to me. I've had people sign up as a coach and then disenroll the next day. I don't even know why. And then they block you. I don't know. I don't get it. You can't try to understand everybody's rationale. You know, there's just been so many crazy, weird things. Coaches who hit Success Club who are like gung-ho, stop hitting it, right? Stop talking, stop responding to me, right? And challengers who bought a challenge pack who just never showed up in a group. And I will tell you, the best way to feel like you suck in this business and in life in general, but let's talk about the business since we're talking about the business, is to use people's reactions as the reflection of who you are or people's responses. If you do that, if you use that as your mirror, you will not last in this business. And I say this to you because I did that in 2016 and it took a huge toll on me. And I think it exacerbated this disease and it made me feel like I just need to do more. Hold on, let me create another system. Let me do another tool. Let me do another training. Let me try to reach out more times. And what happens is you're trying to overcompensate for the work that other people aren't willing to put in. whether it's your challengers or coaches or whatever, and you just start feeling like exhausted. You're pouring from an empty cup. You've got nothing left, right? You got to fill your cup. And I had to realize that by doing it. I was like, this is not working. This is not working. And I feel like I suck. And I'm like, and I got to do more. And I mean, I know you're part of an amazing team. Rachel, I'm sure, provides you amazing tools. We have amazing tools. It's like, at the end of the day, it took me a while to realize that someone's success is on them, right? Success is 99% perspiration, 1% inspiration. I can inspire the heck out of someone, but 99% of the success, my success, is not up to my upline coach, is not up to any, me for them to succeed. It's on them. And once I embraced that, and once I said, you know what, I see the potential in you as the former social worker, as the altruistic, positive, wow, I like to see the best in people person I am, but you're going to have to work. And full circle moment, when we have a team, whether you have one now or you will have one, I believe the way we always stay on the right track and enjoy this journey is to not forget that it always starts with us and it continues with us. And I know you've heard this before. It's not anything new, but it's like taking it back to the very basic foundation of what got us started. Our fitness, our health, us sharing our journey, and trying to help a few people each month. When we do that, I believe we keep the fun in it. When I don't worry about which rock star might I recruit that might blow up this business. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. Who knows? It keeps me sane. When I just do my part, if it's going to be, it's up to me. I like to always say that because it's like, I'm going to do my part. I'm going to talk to people. I'm going to share my journey. I'm going to share if I gain a few pounds and I'm getting back on track. I'm going to share that today was a suck-ass day, but I'm going to show up anyway. I'm going to do my part. I'm not going to try to convince everybody else anymore to do their part. That's been game changer. That's been game changer to rebuilding my joy, my mental health, my happiness, and my belief in Beachbody. Because what was happening, because I had this goal of like, I want to be elite again in 2060, when that was happening. When all these people weren't doing their part, I was resentful, I was angry, and it was like I was in management mode. I'm not anybody's boss. All I could do is lead by example. So I took it back and said, but it took a lot of self-evaluation. So that is the other tip, is self-evaluate constantly. Ask yourself, how can I be better? How can I be better versus bitter? Like, how is what I am doing getting me closer to whatever, my fitness goal, my coaching goal, or how is it getting me further? And my answer was, well, I can't try to, like my corporate mentor always says, you can't push a rope. You can't push a rope, can't push people. Like, they have to want it. People have to want it. And the only way that we find those people who want it is by us leading by example. Not trying to convince somebody, but just us doing our own part. And that's, to me, it comes to the simple things of fitness, nutrition, showing up, and just being like, yep, I invited people. Yep, I got 20,000 no's today. How many did you get? Yeah, like being real with people and, so anyway, moving on. So that part has rebuilt my business, my confidence, my joy. I started loving coaching again. My income has gone down. People who were working didn't work as hard. My husband has a corporate job, but I gave up my career for this. Don't get me wrong. Don't think like I'm balling and, all that right now. There's been hits I've taken on my income. But at the end of the day, when I think about how I'm dealing with my Lyme disease thing and how I'm eternally positive and optimistic and I'm going to kick this thing's ass and I'm like, I'm doing this, it's because of what I've learned in Beachbody. When I encourage someone, it's because of what I've learned in Beachbody. Yes, I have that in me, but we learn not to quit through Beachbody. We learn to keep showing up. We are embraced, where we are. And, if you have seen this culture of this amazing community, that that's what it's about. You have a chance to start over each day. Every day I want you to think about when you're pushing play on your workout, you have a chance to push play again on the rest of your life. That's what pushing play has taught me. You know, it's like ridiculous. Every time I work out, whatever workout I'm doing, I am reminded that I can start over. I can rebuild. I could reset the button. And if the only freaking thing I do that day is work out and I feel good about what I did for myself, I'm still winning. And it's been game changer. I've gotten out of depression that way. I've gotten myself out of the funk of thinking I'm not going to get better that way. Like all these things. And that's contagious, you guys. Because this is a contagious business. When people see your belief to fight for yourself, they want a piece of that. They want a piece of that. They don't care how many freaking stars you have and how many freaking medals you have. They want to know, if I were to join this person's group, am I going to learn to stop giving up on myself? Am I going to learn to show up for myself? Is there something about this person that, man, I just feel like I can get through the day better, you know? And I had to take it back to that person that inspired me, you know, and that person I needed to be again. And I just said, I'm just going to do my part. If I don't hit elite, that's fine. That's not what I'm concerned about. But I want to help at least 3 to 5 people get amazing results every month. So again, a few tips is work with the willing. Always work on you. Always work on you. I don't care if you've gained 50 pounds since you started. Who cares? Start over. Rebuild. You have not failed. Just rebuild. I'm starting over. I used to be able to do 40 push-ups. I can do maybe 5 or 6 now. I'm starting over. I'm rebuilding. Okay? Focus on your North Star. What is your North Star that made you fall in love with coaching, you know, in the first place? Do that thing again. Don't forget about it. Just keep doing that thing again. And remember, if it's going to be, it's up to me. Don't expect it to be easy. That's my favorite part. Don't expect it to be easy. And remember that we build character and who we are meant to become through the hard. And I want to recommend that you guys get this book, The Obstacle is the Way. If you haven't gotten it, it's amazing. It's like totally man brain, but it speaks to me. I want to read you guys something that really, I see the time ticking here. So something that really resonated. It says, persist in your efforts, resist giving into distraction, discouragement, or disorder. There's no need to sweat this or feel rushed. No need to get upset or despair. You're not going anywhere. You're not going to be counted out. You're in this for the long haul. Doing new things invariably means obstacles. A new path is by definition uncleared. Only with persistence and time can we cut away debris and move impediments. It's okay to be discouraged, okay? Been there like many, many times this year. It's not okay to quit. To know you want to quit, but to plant your feet and keep inching closer until you take the impenetrable fortress you've decided to lay siege in your own life, that's persistence. And then they talk about Thomas Edison once explained that that in inventing, right? How many times did he fail with a light bulb, right? The first step is an intuition and comes with a burst. Then difficulties arise. He said what set him apart is that he embraced the difficulties. And he said, in other words, it's supposed to be hard. Your first attempts and multiple attempts aren't going to work. He said it's going to take a lot out of you, but your energy is an asset we could find more of. It's a renewable resource. And this part, like write it down. He's like, stop looking for an epiphany and start looking for weak points, right? Self-reflection. Stop looking for angels, which I believe in God. I'm not saying that, and start looking for angles. There are options. Settle in for the long haul and then try each and every possibility and you'll get there. When people ask where we are, what we're doing, how the situation's coming along, the answer should be clear. We're working on it. We're getting closer. When setbacks come, we respond by working twice as hard. So I really recommend you guys get this book. It's by Ryan Holiday. It's freaking amazing. The Obstacle is the Way. It was recommended in a 5-star group, I think in the roundtable. And it freaking like smacks me in the face every day when I read it. I'm like, yep, it's not supposed to be easy. So I hope this has helped. I see the time ticking, so I'll stop talking.
Thank you so much, Mannie. That helped tons. Does anybody have any questions? You can also use the chat if you need to. We're not a very big question group here. I always ask for questions and they just stare at me.
Okay, no, I understand. I love what you said, Rachel, too, that you did. It's not just SC, but helping people with anything. I want to say that's what we're shifting to also.
Yeah.
In our team, like find a need and fill it. And if that means someone has a need for Energize, freaking put Energize in their hands. If that means they freaking want a sampler pack, you know what? Success is still success. If you find a need and fill it and you give them something to fall in love with, who cares if they want a challenge pack later or now? You have found a need and filled it, and that makes you a successful coach. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm preaching. Thank you for saying that. I wasn't going to stop, but I'm all about that.
Yeah, and I think I hope that it like fosters like big wins right out of the gate for people, because I know that some people are like, okay, so I have to hit Success Club, which is helping 3 people. Well, I only helped 2 people. Now what? I failed. And I'm like, no, you still helped 2 people. That's awesome.
2 people.
So I'm hoping that this kind of helps with that. And we're trying to figure out a way to like do that, like recognize that as well in regards to like volume and stuff. So
I'll brainstorm with you too, because I'm putting something together with my team to try to find some, to actually come up with like a little menu of like, ask these questions and pick your favorite 5 products, and maybe it's Energize or something. So we can always
perfect
tag team.
All right. Okay. Does anybody else have anything? I'm also going to ask you for that ladder thing that you talked about as well.
You got it. I will absolutely send you that.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much for having me on. I hope this has been helpful, and you guys are in great hands. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Mannie. Bye, guys.
You're so welcome.
Go watch Game of Thrones.